naitwa Sanchez Mali, actor, writer, filmmaker, performing artist. Well, majorly, I say script is key. Me material napewa for the audition though, I tend to maximize on that in terms of creativity, in terms of mastering of lines, understanding context. I say script is key. So we had sides, then tulikuwa tumetumiwa for the role. Mimi nilikuwa nimetumiwa MRI actually. Kumbuka nilikuwa mtaa, nikajiambia ni kama imefika hiyo time ya kuingia mboka. So kuna kungana thrill fulani tu uko nayo hata before uanze kushika lines ama kupitia the actual side. Unaweza ingia exercise 2-3 ni kujibamba tu. So when I was feeling relieved enough nikaanza sasa kupitia lines, kushika lines nini. Then on the audition day, that's when all the magic happened.
Mimi niko sawa. Hizi pia ziko sawa.
I think I prepared for close to 30 minutes hivi nikiwa mtaa bado. And also nikikuja hapa haikuwa it was a very smooth process from the time I arrived the audition space na bado kuingia ndani. And this has to be one of my best auditions. After the first take, I felt great, but then Philoka akaleta twist ingine. Akaamua, I want you to perform the whole piece, but when you're high. Ningeuza dimanti zangu, walai.
Kwani sikuletea vidole kwa mkono?
Si nilikuwa najidunga hapa. Shiambia Memorial like Mungu bariki watu wengine. Utaniua. Utanimada. MRI, actually I think hizo jina hazikuwa zimeandikwa vile ziko in the actual script, but nilikuwa na get your feeling someone who's at the brink of relapsing. Mtu mwenye akona hiyo feeling fulani anaweza relapse. I got the feeling of a junkie. Ni junkie mwenye ana feel okay, sidai kurudi back to that life. So amereform na vitu kama hizo. Nilikuwa nataka sana, I was really looking forward to the read through with the entire cast. Ndo nijue ni world gani tunaingia. And when I got into Kantai's world tukiwa hapo during the actual read, ulikuwa unasikia voices of the other characters, and now you know how deep we are into this film. The read was quite entertaining. Ilikuwa very comical, so you know how the script actually looks like, not that we are spoiling. But the script was very easy to go through. For I think really somewhere like four episodes in the first read. That's how exciting it was during that day. Personally nilikuwa nimecreate ya MRI kifile kiake nikiwa home. Nilikuwa naona huyu kijana. Nilikuwa nimeona traits zake, vile uka. And when I got to set tuki create now the character, nilifurahi juu ilikuwa a very collaborative process. We had the art designer hapo, we had the makeup artist, we had the director, script writers hapo. So hiyo session mzima ilikuwa kuambiana like, may I have this concept, I have this concept, I see MRI this way. They also tell me how they see MRI. And eventually, MRI was created in a very, very good way. Tulikuwa na a designer and we were discussing the concept of having his tattoos, because MRI is a failed rapper who once had the love for music. Tuseme tu ni mangori zake ndo zilikuwa more than passion yake ya music. So we had the tattoos that he had. So when hiyo idea ya tattoo ilikuwa inakuja in place, ilikuwa rahisi kwetu figure out what we want to actually put in the tattoos. We had a Chinese one, meaning music. Tulikuwa nyingine inaitwa MRI, because at the time when MRI was having these tattoos akiwa bado in the singing ama rapping era, hiyo unakumbuka hizi za gengeton vakoka hizo za kina X-ray. Actually that's the whole gang. Kulikuwa na X-ray, MRI, kulikuwa na CT scan, but then unfortunately ni X-ray pekee ndo aliomoka. That's why MRI went to the world of drugs, but that's yoni maisha yake. back to where we were, the tattoos did magic. Nilifurahia because immediately tulikuwa tushaeka the first look of how MRI looks like. Nilikuwa unani. That's a really great feeling for an actor. Mi kitu nafurahi ni ati MRI wardrobe yake haifanani at all na ya Sanchez. Na hiyo kitu inanibamba sana. Juu every time nilikuwa navaa hiyo nguo nilikuwa na feel mi sikwangi hivi. This is not me anymore. This is now MRI taking control of my body and everything. Alikuwa navaa mostly hoodies. Unajua mapedi vile uko wasa kuficha white. Alikuwa na mahoodie mingi, alikuwa na short. Alafu alikuwa na macrocs always. MRI never wore shoes, never wore trousers, except for one scene. Imagine ni scene moja ndo nilipigishwa look. Na Bailey na the whole writer's room. Ile baridi nimekula kwa set. Nilikuwa nafurahi juu nilikuwa nitoka comfort zone, nilikuwa nasikia this is a whole different person. So MRI alikuwa anapiga look, but si look, ni look tu ya pedi. Kama unakuwa na mapedi mtaa unaweza feel this is now a peddler. Once again, script is key. Each and every element nieneza dai create for a character lazima ikuwe inspired within the boundaries of the script. So hata nikiangalia scenes, how you interpret the scenes, how you want to bring all the elements, my backstories that you create, all of them are within the confinements of the script. And so when preparing for MRI, just going through all the 13 scripts gives you the entire world that you need to know about MRI. Adi unaanza saa have fun nayo create each and every story kuhusu past ya MRI ina affect life yake on screen. So preparation for that majorly entails script. After script, now you go to physical aspects and every other nitty-gritties that you'd want to have. With other actors, depends on time. I think time will solve vitu zote. Juu kulikuwa na like a 2-week period before we actually started shooting, from auditions all the way to the first day of set. Kulikuwa na enough time ya kujuana na all your castmates. And for people like Faiz, who else? Chatuni na Faiz kwanza. Say people like Faiz juu tumekuwa na theater for a while. It was quite easy since zangu na zake. And majorly for all the cast members, because tulikuwa na deal na a very lively cast. Ilikuwa inakaa like a really mad set. Nakumbuka kuna time kulikuwa na wasi wanaimba, lights zikiwa set up, the whole family was singing all through nini. Tunaimba mangoma za gospel tunaziremix. Hakuna mwenye ishara kubwa kama wewe. Bonding haikuwa much of a struggle for us. It was quite easy. Exercise, you need a warm body. Mi nikiamka asubuhi lazima katizi tu fulani, calisthenics manini, 1 2 3 2 2 3 za kuchangamsha mwili. And also having that manifest your positive mentality throughout the day, because it's still your 8 to 5 indo job yako ya daily, so huwezi peleka moods kwa set. So mi niko naichukulia like every day is a creative process. Kila day ni ya ku make magic. Nikiwa na hiyo ka background yangu, because if you are an artist you have to enjoy that job in the first place. Siwezi jileta kutoka mtadi audition tena nikuje nijitese during the whole shooting process. So enjoying the process becomes so much easier kama mwenyewe ushajua what you actually want. So even for the hectic shooting days, with proper preparation, going through all your scenes, vitu kaa hizo. With everything running smoothly, food, transport. Hata ukishoot late into the night and you still see what you've done, you feel like you've done a good job. No, but there has to be a separation between the character and me, because the character is only using me as a vessel. So once it's cut, it's cut. Sime cut, kwa hivyo MRI haendi kukula lunch na mimi. Mimi naenda kukula lunch, niongee na cook, niambie hapo niongeze nyama mbili, niongeze hapa mahindi nini, nijibambe nayo. So that's me getting to be me while on set. Na inakupeanga pose fiti. When you go back to set, even for the emotional scenes, they can be draining, yes, but after a while you kujami ni shanga yenyewe. Nasemanga I'm a fan of order, and in that line of order, during preparation before tuanze the first shooting days nini, we had all the directors with us, so hakukuwa na ile chance ya director moja akona very different perspective from how you visioned your character, even if atakuja episode 5, 6 huko. So during the preparation process, tulikuwa tushale hiyo foundation of how the character looks like and how we want to achieve the whole story, depending on which director will be directing which episode. But kitu nafurahia with the 3 directors, all of them had different personalities. Kuna mwenye atakuwa wild na wewe excess. Mi kitu nilifurahia, we had Kenji. Kenji was very experimental. Kenji will give you Kenji atakuja na interpretation nyingine tena ujiambie what? Umesema naweza fanya hivyo bosi? Kidogo jipate okay it works. So ilikuwa tunajaribu vitu 2-3 nini according to preparation plan yake nini, unaangalia unasema okay this one works, this one might not work na vitu kama hizo. So it was good. We have Philo is the kind of director who's so tight, ameji prepare ma shortlist zake vitu kama hizo. Working with Philo was also your give and take, the reasoning, more of reasoning about the scene we are going into, like so Buddha naonaje hii scene nini vitu kama hizo. Then we had Smalls. Smalls Munyoki. Smalls ana behaving like agency. So yeah, hatukuwa mbali sana, tulikuwa on the same page. Nilikuwa naambia Smalls kitu kai yako like Buddha, I saw it that way as well. So working with all the 3 directors ilikuwa roller coaster fulani fiti. Scenes zenye zinataka ukue with very minimal clothing, lakini ukiangalia atmosphere uko like wow, hii passion. Sahi usiku wa 8 saa 5 surely. So yeah, tulikuwa na hizo scenes zenye I think I was in a vest and boxers. Together with Kantai. Uzuri, when you go through problems na hauko peke yako, una feeling we can do this. So una shoot usiku. I think those were the most challenging days, but bado ni thrilling. Ukiangalia according to the story and what you're achieving, hata kama umevaa hivyo na unapigwa nayo baridi in that moment and time, bado una feel rada safi. Kuna day tulikuwa nafanya car chase. So I was in one of the cars that also was in that car chase. Kwa hivyo, I think the swerving of cars for like 2-3 hours of shooting, mimi niko feel yenyewe sinishaingia Hollywood nini. Sindio? Can do my own stunts na vitu kama hizo. Nilikuwa nasikia fiti, especially for those scenes. So the scene for MRI has to be the site of death. Because we have a character who's mwenye alirapiwa mapema alifariki.
Sikia tutaongea nawe baadaye. Nisaidie kumbeba.
Ngoja tulia. Kama tulia. Ameenda.
Ache, usikie.
Ameenda.
Nisaidie kumbeba.
Ameenda.
Nisikize, ameenda.
Nakuwa mimi unisaidie kumuingiza tu hapa ndani sasa. Acha kunishika.
Umekufa.
Kunishika, acha kunishika.
And it was actually a very sad experience for MRI. MRI akuwa msi anapenda kuona madamu, kuona yani death was not good. Ukiangalia backstory yake, coming from family that alipoteza the parents and every other person in the family. So ukiangalia Akio character, when they get to see someone else dying bado, now ndo wako responsible for this person's death in one way or another. I think those were the dullest days for MRI. The day he chose to relapse, so the moment MRI got to meet SK while they were both on drugs, that has to be my best scene.
We, rada uningiaje kwa room yangu hivyo?
Juu tulikuwa wote in the moment. So those are the best scenes for MRI. SK is wild. SK is a very wild character. Kwa hivyo, when those two people first met, ilikuwa actually the first dialogue we have after so many episodes. It was usually a cold exchange from the previous episodes, but when we got to the episode when we finally talk, it had to be when we were both high. Na hiyo kitu ilikuwa inanijazz immediately. Yeah. I'd commend the writers. Juu waliandika a very, very nice arc for MRI, from when he gets out of rehab all the way akikuja to this family thinking that he has found hope, a very loving, changing environment. Then he decides, then he realizes that hizo drugs nimetoka kuacha ndo ziko imta. So for MRI, aki yake ilikuwa tu normal, ilikuwa hiyo battle ya being a reformed junkie, looking for a family and a place to belong. Then there's a twist in the script where the drugs you're actually running away from are in this same household that you've come to. So your battle, yeah, will I relapse, will I not relapse? Yeah, it has to be an insane arc for one season. I like it. Pull up SK and MRI, same WhatsApp group. Very compatible. I think we're gonna have the same perspectives in a way in terms of music. Although one does not even, hata tuseme tu wote wawili hawajafines hiyo mambo ya muziki hivyo vile wanadhani, but uzuri self esteem yao iko pale, iko chonjo. That's what I like about both characters. Let's get it. Number one, indecisive. Number two, very determined. And number three, temperamental. Neza pull stunt nye huwezi expect time flani akiwa in the heat up of emotions na vitu kama hizo.
Okay.
Yep.
Tuingie quick fire. Small quick fire.
Twende sana, what a fine morning.
What is MRI's full name?
Emory Kizito.
Yes. What is the name of the band that MRI was in?
Radiologists.
Nice.
Yep.
What was the one rule given by Kantai about handling the drugs?
About handling the drugs, that MRI would never relapse. Yeah, that was rule number one. Rule number two, alisema atafikiria mpaka sasa inisho.
Wrong. The one rule was that it is only Kantai who is going to handle the drugs.
Kai.
What was your ex-girlfriend's name?
Not me.
What was MRI's ex-girlfriend's name?
Nipiga bari. Kini niko nayo. And Stella, do not take this personally. Kidogo. Alikuwa anaitwa Nikki. Let me tell you, you know Nikki. Nikki and MRI come from a very, very... wow. Nikki alikuwa ex, the kind of toxic ex that most people have without mentioning names na vitu kama hizo. But yeah, Nikki was quite the character to be the ex to MRI. Yeah.
What was the first body MRI ever disposed?
Kennedy.
Yes. What was the order made by the TZ guy?
By the?
TZ guy.
Huyo jamaa fulani wa TZ huyo.
Mwenye my English.
Diamond Platinums. Alikuwa anaitwa Bronze. Alikuwa anaitwa Bronze Titaniums. Yeah, Bronze wanted Maduya in large quantities. But akatulipa in TZ shillings. That's what he wanted though. And we delivered.
Can you remember the number of pills?
30,000 pills. That one was MRI's client.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Sasa tunaingia segment ingine inaitwa finish the sentence.
Twende sana.
Ni kama unakumbuka script yako.
Bossy. Without considering the fact that we shot more than 6 months ago.
Ni sawa.
Twende sana.
Haya. Mzee, utanipandilia tu hivyo.
Hata ungenidanganya hivi na mabiscuit ma flowers mashuksha hivi at least.
The correct time.
Uniingize box something like that.
Hata buy a small changala ama kangalau wine kwanza. Haya, number 2. Wenye hizi burungo tunauza wanazitafuta. Mbaya.
Na kuna assassins wanashanda watu huko nje. One by one.
Nice.
Wagwan.
Wagwan.
Twende sana.
Haya. Unafikiria unaweza rekebisha hii shit once you fuck someone?
You can't unfuck them.
Nice.
Walai.
Ne.
Genja. Mambo ya MRI. What language is that?
And then sidhani unaweza niumiza kuliko venye umeniumiza already.
Yeah, this one of his crying scenes. Yun mambo yake, mi hata siko sad sahi. Cry. Atirudia tena, bosi.
Sidhani unaweza niumiza kuliko vile umeniumiza already. Naweza endelea kidogo. Yani unanipromise a new lease of life?
Manzi. Alafu unanifanyia hivi man. Walai.
Alafu nikienda tu kupona unanirudisha wapi?
Exactly.
Kwa sewage. Okay.
Untying Kantai is a thrilling dramedy that will entertain, educate. Nimesema bosi. Thrill. Twende sana. Make sure to catch Untying Kantai on Showmax. All the 13 episodes. Jibambe. Enjoy. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Enjoy the show. Wazijo.